War rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. The bastions of order look to protect the realms, though the forces of chaos seek to dominate and subjugate them. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun.
Hello and welcome to Season of War! Today we're excited to bring you another epic game of Age of Sigmar. Matchup here, actually, Ridge, you mentioned it, this is like our first matchup of AOS 3 with Sylvaneth and...
It is, yeah, and our most viewed video, actually.
Ever, yeah. Yes. So, and two of our favorite armies. Actually, first armies, both of them. So, big match here, actually. It's lots of exciting stuff going on. My second game with the new Battle Tome. Your first game. My first game with the new Battle Tome.
I finally took the time to deep delve. I watched Morgan on Warhammer Weekly and got really into all the Skaven stuff. So
the rat holes run deep, so there's a lot to dig through.
Got a bit of a grasp now on a lot of the units and everything. So
Nice. Well, excited for this one here. Shout out to our premium members who did actually vote for me to play Sylvaneth again. I'm not complaining because I'm excited about this book, and using all units different from the last time I played, the first time I played them for our premium members. So completely different build here, very excited about that. But we'll get into this in a moment.
For sure.
I always want to shout out Printable Scenery with the beautiful terrain we're playing on, 3D printed their files. And then our local game store, X Planet, and our other FLG partner, Warpfire down in the States. Definitely check both those guys out, or both those stores out. Huge shout out also to Warpfire because they helped me get my hands on like some of the new Sylvaneth stuff.
Models.
We got 2 units on the table, 2 of the new ones, working on a bunch of the others so I can do more archers and some spite riders. Exactly. Those guys will be sweet. So huge shout out to Warpfire for that. And yeah, why don't we just jump into things? The mission we're playing today is called In the Presence of Idols. It's like the old one where you choose 3 predator units, except now you're choosing idol units. If you kill an idol unit with an idol unit, you get a bonus VP. And the idol units also have battle shock casualties.
Some ridiculous thing they didn't need to add.
Yeah, exactly. Just another little thing, but probably not too relevant. So we'll see. That's it. Normal hold 1, hold 2, hold more scoring. We have the cool corner deployments. And then opposite objectives.
So used to going this way. I felt weird like getting into this corner.
It's definitely neat. And that's pretty much the gist of everything. So getting into it, Ridge, do you want to take us through your list first?
Yeah, so I have chosen to go mold or verminous kind of thing. I love that there's so much you can do now with being able to heroes and battle line and all that. So like, plague monks, all that kind of stuff. Pestilence is great, and so is Scryer, but not that today. I do have Thanquil, so you're gonna see him a lot. He's amazing. And then the Warp Seer, a Master Molder for the Rat Ogres, and a Claw Lord. So the general is the Warp Seer. He's got the Master Magic, which gives him a reroll, Unbind, but a good one for all of his spells. And then he has the Skaven Brew for Artifact. And then Command Entourage, I did the other artifact was I took the Warpstone Amulet for the -1 to save in combat. You're gonna see it on the Warbringer like a lot better, but still might be good on the Claw Lord if I get him in. And then I have 2 units of 20 Clan Rats in the Conquerors, and a unit of 4 Rat Ogres and 30 Storm Vermin in Bounty Hunters.
Nice.
And then I took the
Laoshan, the Soul Seeker.
Thanquil Skateboard, essentially, what everyone's been calling it. And then Purple Sun, because obviously, let's go.
Yeah, it'll be really cool to see that. And you got to use it against me after the last time we had it out.
Yes, it's been used against me, so we'll see.
Exactly. Cool. Well, for me, I'm playing Sylvaneth again, and Narwhal Root today, namely, wanted to go with this subfaction, kind of building around the Lady of Vines here. Just finishing up this model, working on it the last little bit. So excited to kind of wanted to double down on making her reliable with her casting, which. Main thing is she gives a 5 up ward save spell. So Gnarl Root gives me a 3d6 cast once per day or once per turn with any of my heroes, or unbind in your turn. And otherwise I chose the Dwindling, which also gives me a once per turn reroll. Again, just Mauer magic reliability, both with her, and then my General, which is a little Branch Wraith, mentioned in the last game. that they have a similar spell to the AoE one, like the Warsong
bomb,
Rev.
yeah.
And much cheaper body, but some downsides to it.
Yep.
You don't get the +1, less spells.
Easier to get killed.
Yeah, easier to get killed for sure. No ward, but it's cheaper, and we're gonna try and do that. You could run both of them, but that's a lot of investment, but potential some danger in there too.
Yes.
Anyways, just running the one here. Also with Spell Saner, so I can cast through the Wildwoods, and Arcane Tome to give me a second cast to at least make good use of that hero as much as possible.
Yeah.
I then have a Spirit of Durthu, who's got the Greenwood Gladius for D3 extra attacks. I have an Arch Revenant, who's just buffing hero, turn off. I do have a unit of 3 swords, first time running them with the new book, so excited for that. 2 units of 10 Dryads, just for chaff, -1 hit and wound now, which is pretty cool if they're close to the woods. And a unit of the skirmishy archer guys.
Yeah,
So
Gossamed, whatever they're
yeah, exactly. So they're cool. Hit and miss how useful they are.
Yeah. The movement is nice.
Movement's nice, shooting's okay. Against combat armies, they'll be a real annoyance.
Yes.
And then otherwise though, I have a unit of 15 Tree Revenants. We were saying before the game, you've never seen a unit of 15 Tree Revenants on the table before. So excited, again, just with the different builds and stuff.
Spikes from Hive, it's definitely there.
And them and the Kurnoth are in a Bounty Hunters for me. I then also had a Command Entourage and a Battle Regiment, so putting me at 6 drops total, out-dropping you here.
Yeah, I was 8, which we were talking about before. It's like so many people, it's going to be a lot of 4, 6, 7, 8, like that type of drops. So.
Yeah, for sure. But that's pretty much everything for now. Let's get into it. So I do have choice here. I think I'm actually going to take first turn Ridge. Okay. Not often do I do that.
No, very rarely.
But both of us can turn off each other's terrain for teleporting and whatnot. And we both have some tricks with movement and that, and teleports, and obviously
you want to be able to.
So yeah, I'm going to take first turn, try and take that little corner there, shut off that hole.
They've streamlined that, which is nice. Like now it's within 3. If you're within 3 of the null hole, I can't go through it. If I'm within 3. So you can see that's like a...
And
there.
Worth mentioning, you might see the little blue pieces on the table, but I have chose for my 3 Overdrone places of power to be this terrain piece, that terrain piece, and that one. Thought about the one in your deployment just to make you stay back there, but it's so easy to turn off that.
And I don't care if you're back there. I'm just going to move up.
Exactly. The objectives are here and here, so. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. So we'll jump into round 1, going into Sylvaneth, turn 1.
Sounds good.
The Sylvaneth battle tactic is against the odds. Durthu fails heroic leadership, but Thanquol succeeds. The Branch Witch casts Verdant Blessing. The Branch Witch casts Unleash Spites, dealing 13 mortal wounds in total. The Lady of Vines casts Aspect of the Everqueen. The Lady of Vines casts Spiteswarm Hive. The Spiteswarm Hive uses Vital Venom on the Tree Revenants. The Tree Revenants teleport using their waypipes, and Durthu travels the spirit paths. The Lady of Vines uses Rouse to Wrath and summons 10 Dryads. Durthu uses All-Out Attack and deals 8 damage to the Clan Rats. The Tree Revenants use Forward to Victory and make their charge. Durthu fails smash to rubble. The Tree Revenants use all that attack for free from martial memories and deals 43 damage to the clan rats. The Tree Revenants use Strike and Fade. The Storm Vermin use Inspiring Presence. The Sylvaneth hold 2 and more objectives and complete their battle tactic for 5 points.
All right, Sylvaneth, turn 1. Taking first here, let me, again, set up, kind of control the board. Try to stomp your terrain piece after you were Durthu. Monstrous action, but he failed.
Yeah,
so
failed it.
That would have been cool.
It's already shut off anyways, just because it's within 3.
Yeah, but then I would be able to leave it, exactly.
Yeah.
So this turn, basically I'm like, okay, what combat threat do I want to strike and fade with? I got my Spitesworn Hive off, I got the Vital Venoms off. I did it with the Tree Revenants because I'm like, I'm only going into Clan Rats. I could have put Durthu in as well to like charge and then pile in and also get into Thanko or something.
Yeah.
But then it kind of potentially throws him away. You get all your Storm Vermin in.
Good chance with all the plus attacks.
And a double turn. So then playing defensive because I really can with this army now. Strike and Fade again is army defining.
Strike and Fade, strikes again.
Yeah.
Ridiculously good.
And the Tree Revenants here, we were saying, did more damage in this turn than they've done like the entirety of the 4 years I've played and owned this army.
Where they have always been in 3x5 battle line.
But here, with not only Bounty Hunters giving them +1 against Galatian Vets.
Yeah.
And then allowing to do +1 a hit from their War Scroll.
Yep.
I would have loved to do. The Arch Revenant's +1 attack would have been better in terms of value. But it would have put him more at risk because he has to be holier than 12.
And the 40 whatever damage they did was enough to kill the 8 clan rats.
Exactly, it's going to do more than enough. I decided not to shoot my archers or queen because then I would have no charge target and my guys would be there because they have to fight to be able to strike and fade.
And I could have actually pulled you out because you rolled shitty in your first and your second when you rolled a 9, so I could have, but I wanted to make sure that you couldn't pile
into the
pile in.
I think that's
or tag
the
these
risk
guys,
that's the right call, I think, because it's like you accepting that you're going to lose that unit, so you'd rather not risk.
Rats.
There's a big charge like an 11 or 12 could have been 13, 14, and I get into them and probably devastate that unit.
They do +1 damage against them, which is not good.
So that's where we're at. I summoned the trees from the queen. Again,
the bomb was
Branch
good.
Witch, did 13 mortal wounds from the back of the table.
Yep.
Out of unbind range. So was actually the Lady of Vines. So I got my ward up. I got
back corner just slinging spells through trees, like so far away from her.
It's so good. Like I tried honestly to make a build where I was doing War Singer for +3 move, or there's a great one where it's like I can have a unit's attacks if you're within 3 of my general. Or reduce them by 1. How good is that against anything, reducing 1 attack? But just Spell Singer is so good.
That's insane.
So hard to get away from.
Yep.
But that's pretty much where we are at right now.
I've lost one of my screens, so I think we're not the worst spot here. We'll see what I can do. But.
Exactly. Lots of games still left. I did my hold 1, 2 more, get my battle tactic, and it has to be 5 points, and we'll go into Skaven, turn 1.
Sounds good. Let's go.
The Skaven battle tactic is against the odds. Thankwell fails heroic recovery, and Durthu uses heroic willpower. Durthu dispels the Spitesworm's hive. The Warpseer casts Laoshan the Soul Seeker. Thanquol casts Purple Sun of Shaiish, but is unbound. God, such a dumb spell. Thanquol casts Death Frenzy on the Storm Vermin. The Master Molder uses Crack the Whip on the Rat Ogres. Thanquol piggybacks on the Launchin the Soul Seeker. Thanquol kills the Dryads. The Gossamed archers unleash hell, dealing 4 damage to the storm vermin, then move away with Zephyr Spites. The Rat Ogres use auto attack and kill the Dryads. The Skaven hold 2 and more objectives and complete their battle tactic for 5 points.
All right, back from my first ever Skaven turn 1, new GHB. I utilized a lot of the tricks, actually. Yep. So right off the bat, I didn't talk about it, but the coolest thing is now with the 3 claw steps ahead, you need to have 3 Master Clan units. So the warps here, the reason I have them is because he actually counts as 2 of them, and then Thanquol's the 3rd one. So that allows you to roll a run roll, your first run roll, and then use that value for the rest of your units.
If you want to.
If you want to.
If you roll, basically if you roll a value, you're going to use that. Yeah. You rolled a 5 for your run.
Perfect.
All your units end up running 5.
Yes, so that was amazing. And then with my charge, what you can do is I cracked the whip on the Rat Ogres for +3 charge, rolled in 10 +3, so a 13. Lovely Skaven
It's not
number.
unmodified, so
that's the one thing in the book which everyone
could
saw
be
right
FAQ'd.
away. Yeah, that maybe it's not. You're not able to do that, but so everything was charging 13.
Yeah, and automatic, which is there. You rolled big, so it was good.
Yeah,
but
even a 6.
Well, if you roll like a 4 on your first charge, you have to re-roll it. Or
but that's what I mean. You re-roll it and then even +3 to that.
But if your first charge isn't good, then you just
you got to think about it, and then
it's basically if your first one is good or
then
your first unit that charges.
Yeah. Which is just it's cool.
It's great.
Yeah, it's cool. So I stayed outside of 9 with both of them, just so you couldn't redeploy, and then that's where so you needed pretty much a 6. So and then I knew that you were going to run away there. I got Death Frenzy off, so I was hoping that the
take a couple out on the way.
Yeah, and then I would do that, but didn't go through. You had the 5 board still. And then the other point was Thanquol. I was just in between, like leaving him back, playing more conservative, or ride the skateboard and like at least do something.
Not much for him to do on that side of the board.
And I was thinking with the 13 of going in here, and I could have maybe attacked into some stuff, but the swords 3-up save, like they're still gonna not die.
And with your loadout of all the warp fires, you're not doing a ton in combat.
Yeah, and I've magnetized my bottom 2. I know I saw it actually in the Season of War Discord, them talking about how many warp fires, like 2 and 2. I can't remember who it was, but it's like...
Because how many times is thankful overkill stuff, right?
Yeah. 2 and 2 might be better for reasons like this, because then I have the 4 attacks, 3 3s -2, best day ever. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm hoping, you know, with priority here, we'll see. I gave him Mystic Shield. I can do best day if you win, so I can get +2. So still lots of stuff, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the other thing too is I trailed these guys back because I have the Skaven brew.
Okay.
So that's why they're all weirdly back. So I can, because it's just within 3. So yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, you hold 1, 2 more because of obviously all your little Ratman tricks.
Yep.
But
and my battle tactic.
Yeah, so 5-5, and we're going into priority for round 2.
5. That's right. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Big prio.
I'm rolling my new blue die. Never
I win
rolled
ties. That's a 1. Oh, okay.
Thank you, Nick True, for the nice blue die.
All right. So.
Yeah. I think it would be dumb to give this away.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go all going off the points, just, you know, killing things.
Yeah, sounds good. So we'll jump into Skaven turn 2.
Yes.
The Skaven battle tactic is gaining momentum. Thanquol fails heroic leadership, and the Lady of Vines use their finest hour. The Branch Witch dispels Launchin the Soulseeker. The Warpseer uses Skaven Brew on the Storm Vermin. The Master Molder uses Crack the Whip on the Rat Ogres. The Warpseer casts Mystic Shield on itself. The Warpseer casts Arcane Bolts but is unbound. Thanquol casts Death Frenzy on the Storm Vermin. Thanquol casts the Purple Sun of Shaiish. The Kurnoth Hunters redeploy, moving 5 inches. The Rat Ogres deal 2 damage to the Tree Revenants. Thanquol kills the Dryads. The Gossamer Archers unleash Hell, dealing 2 mortal wounds to the Rat Ogres and moving away with Zephyr Spites. Durthu uses Ground Shaker on the Storm Vermin. The Clawed Lord deals 6 damage to Durthu. Not bracketed yet. Nice. Dirthu uses all-out attack and deals 18 damage to the storm vermin. The storm vermin fight on death because of Death Frenzy and kill Dirthu. Skaven plans are always the frickin' weirdest. The rat ogres use all-out attack and deal 2 damage to the Lady of Vines. The Lady of Vines deals 7 damage to the rat ogres. The storm vermin use the Indomitable Triumph. The Skaven hold 2 and more objectives and complete their battle tactic for 5 points.
Alrighty, so back from Skaven turn 2. Pretty much everything went to plan, what I was kind of meaning to do.
What you were expecting, no surprises.
Yeah, not really. I rolled, the biggest thing was I rolled the 7 on the rat ogres to make it a 10-inch charge.
Yeah.
And then I can just put my measuring tape away.
Yeah.
Everything just charges 10.
Yeah.
So that was fun. You got the 3-up stomp off, which was massive, so you were able to do 18 damage to my storm vermin, who had Death Frenzy, who piled in and then killed Dirthu.
Yeah, exactly. On the Death Frenzy.
Yeah,
but
if he failed that, they could have killed him and been 25 strong still.
Yeah.
So, I was in between that, putting the Warp Seer in. I went for the Claw Lord to go in because he has that -1 to save artifact, the Warpstone Amulet. So in the end, I think that was better.
And you knew I wasn't going to attack him.
No, what's the point? Because they're going to just kill him anyways.
Yeah.
So, so the Warp Seer, they're both kind of safe. I made sure to stay within 30 here. Other than that, the rat ogres were, I rolled the 10 and I was just barely not able to pile because I knew you were gonna do the Strike and Fade or the whatever their ability is. I was just able to not go 3 into the tree revs, which I really wanted to do because I had to stay closer to here. So that was really, really close. If I was thinking about I should have maybe re-rolled that 10, but there's no way because I rolled the 7, can't risk that.
Yeah.
So.
Because you need that 10 for everything else.
All this other stuff relied on that.
Yeah.
And taking Dirthu down. So yeah.
And you did hold 1-2 more, so your battle tactics, that's solid.
The big pieces alive, but you got some stuff to come into me now.
For sure, yeah. And with that, we'll just jump into it, going into Sylvaneth, turn 2.
Sounds good.
The Sylvaneth battle tactic is eye for an eye. The Arch Revenant fails heroic leadership, and Thankwell uses their finest hour. The Storm Vermin rally, returning 1 model. The Lady of Vines casts Spiteswarm Hive. The Branch Witch casts Tree Song. The Branch Witch miscasts Unleash Spites, taking 1 mortal wound. The Lady of Vines casts Aspect of the Everqueen. The Spiteswarm Hive uses Vital Venoms on the Tree Revenants. The Purple Sun kills the Arch Revenant and 1 Kurnoth Hunter. Okay, when is this thing gonna get nerfed? This is crazy. The Gossamen Archers deal 9 damage to the Rat Ogres. The Lady of Vines deal no damage. The Tree Revenants use Forge of Victory and make their charge. The Tree Revenants use all attack for free from Martial Memories and kill the clan rats. The Rat Ogres use all-out attack and deal 4 damage to the Kurnoth Hunters. The Kurnoth Hunters kill the Rat Ogres. Sylvaneth hold 1 objective and complete their battle tactic for 3 points.
All right, so Sylvaneth turn 2. I only take one objective here. In hindsight, wasn't a great idea. I decided this at the start of your turn to make this the proving ground because only my tree revenants could take it. So don't know why, but I was thinking my archers could, but they're not battle lines.
GVs,
so they could not. Which that's what I was hoping is I'd throw them there, let them get charged, bounce away. That's fine. And I didn't want to put my tree revs there because if I lose priority, the Thankful's going to rinse them.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the best I could do. Giving up that tactic or the point because it's only GVs and none of that stuff could take it.
Yep.
Purple Sun, you had your first fun turn with it.
Finally!
Finally,
the first time I ran it.
You've rolled 2 out of 3 have been won so far. So killed the Kurnoth, killed my Arch Revenant. Obviously that's, we were talking about how it's like, it's going to just make for some dumb situations in like games where it's just like,
Table 1, game 5, auto slaughter Archaeon. Okay, cool.
Or Nagash or something, which is just a little silly.
Yeah. But it's fun.
It's fun, but it's silly. And so I did Spite Swarm Hive, teleported these guys, take this objective.
Yep.
Zoning out that in the hull by just being within 3 of it. I did Tree Song over here to give me +1 rend by this tree, thinking I was going to charge.
Your plan was all in here,
Yeah, I was going to go in there with my Kurnoth or the Tree Revenants and then teleport away. But I didn't realize, I knew he had Mystic Shield, but he also has the +1 save from the
Scry Orb.
So it's like, even I'd be Rend 2 back to 4-ups, and then he's got a ward save still.
5 up ward too, yeah.
So it's
he's still tanky with that +1 save innately. You give him a Mystic Shield or anything like he's.
So I wasn't killing him reliably, so I decided just to play it safe.
Yep.
And then let me just make sure I killed the Rat Ogres, which I could have done it with the Lady of Vines alone. I didn't need the Kurnoth there. But
incentivized, you weren't coming this way with the sun over. I rallied 1 whole clan rat of the 25.
Or Storm Vermin,
Or Storm Vermin.
I got my battle tactic of kill unit because I absolutely rinsed those clan rats with the tree revs as
+1
GVs.
damage.
So in a decent spot. I'm down a couple points though. Dropping that hold 2, hold more, and we're into priority again. So let's go. 1 again.
Jordan continues his amazing streak of never winning prio.
It's fun.
So just measured a couple quick things, but I'm gonna go because I feel like turn 3 isn't by the not burning anymore. It's like,
GV isn't as impactful in this situation. You have one over there, so
exactly
you can't limit your score, and you already control it anyways. So
that
will just jump into the Skaven turn 3.
Sounds good.
The Skaven battle tactic is eye for an eye. The Warp Seer uses heroic leadership, which the Lady of Vine fails. The branch with dispels the Purple Sun. Things broke. The Storm Vermin rally, returning 1 model. Thank will cast Mystic Shield, but is unbound. Thank will cast Death Frenzy on the Storm Vermin. The Warp Seer casts Flaming Weapon. The Warp Seer casts Launch in the Soul Seeker. Thankful teleports with Launch in the Soul Seeker. The Lady of Vines redeploy, moving 5 inches. Thankful deals 25 mortal wounds to the Tree Revenants. It smells like burning! Oh my god, I need a raise after that. The Warp Seer uses Forward to Victory and makes his charge. The Warp Seer stomps the Kurnoth Hunters, dealing 2 mortal wounds. The Warp Seer deals 2 damage to the Kurnoth. The Lady of Vines deal 1 damage to the Storm Vermin. The Storm Vermin uses all-out attack and deals 3 damage to the Kurnoth. The Tree Revenants deal no damage, and Thankful deals 2 damage to them, leaving one with 1 wound. I'm in danger! I had to. The Kurnoth Hunter deals 2 damage to the Warpseer. The Skaven hold 2 and more objectives, but fail their battle tactic, scoring 3 points.
Alrighty, so back from my turn. Got some spells off. The big one was I got
The
Lauchan off.
That was the TSN turning point.
Yeah, and as soon as you saw like that, like I was obviously thinking that, and you were like,
I knew
oh,
exactly.
Shit,
That's what I saved the reroll for.
Yeah.
Like,
so Thankful just took a skateboard, did a couple kick flips, went over, burned. I did 25 mortal wounds, I think, whatever it said up there. But anyways,
Yeah.
I left 2 there.
and then 1 survived on 1 wound,
Yes.
so I am going to Inspiring Presence him.
And your Kurnoth here survived on 1 wound
Yep.
with all of the Storm Vermin hitting.
Yep.
And the Warpseer put 5 through. You made 4 out of 5 ups to keep that Kurnoth alive.
Well, Rich, something's got to go my way when you
No,
have a priority.
never.
Yeah, and you rolled all the ones on this purple set. I think you're getting enough.
You're right. So the Kurnoth survived, yeah. So we'll see. And Jordan obviously didn't attack the Storm Vermin because Death Frenzy is just, it's so good.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you're gonna store, hold 1, 2 more.
1, 2 more in my battle
Fail
tactic.
your battle tactic.
Oh,
Not
wait,
kill a unit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
took the one of killing a unit.
Yep.
Do they need to bravery?
No, you only killed 1 this turn.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So.
Damn. Yeah, I guess.
So you're at 3 points here, which is kind of a saving grace for me, keeping me in it relatively. And yeah, we're gonna go into Sylvaneth. Turn 3.
3.
The Skaven battle tactic is desecrate their lands. The Lady of Vines fails heroic leadership, and the Warpseer uses their finest hour. The Lady of Vines casts Regrowth but is unbound. The Branchwith casts Unleashed Spites, dealing 7 mortal wounds, and the Storm Vermin fight on death and finish off the Kurnoth Hunters. Man, these guys are stronger when they're dying. The Branch Witch casts Tree Song. The Lady of Vines casts Aspect of Everqueen but is unbound. The Spiteswarm Hive use Vital Venoms on the Lady of Vines. The Lady of Vines walks the hidden paths. The Gossamed archers deal 3 damage to the Warpseer. The Tree Revenants deal no damage, but teleports away with Strike and Fade. The Claw Lord uses all-out attack and deals 4 damage to the Lady of Vines. The Lady of Vines deals 2 damage to the Claw Lord. The Sylvaneth hold 2 and more objectives and complete their battle tactic for 5 points.
All right, Sylvaneth, turn 3 here. Again, I had place, and we saw it here, a couple tricks.
Yeah.
Left my single Tree Revenant in combat so that he could fight and then strike and fade.
Yeah, which I didn't catch on to. I'm like, what
We
did you
actually
do?
totally forgot about monstrous actions, so we'll pretend you failed yourself.
Oh!
So, lots of rules, obviously new stuff that
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
thinking about right now. So, and again, just a weird dynamic of so many different teleports and movement things and trying to. I failed to take that objective because we're both 2 wounds.
Yes. Everything's
I'm
a
not
tree.
a monster.
Everything's
Yeah, I'm not a monster, so my Tree Revenant does teleport and take this one though.
Yeah.
I remain in control of this one because I made it the Proving Ground.
Yes.
None of your dice count on it.
Yeah.
So that gives me hold 2, hold more. And my battle tactic here was to
For 5,
claim
which
my
is-
tree, so
yeah.
I will score 5, actually tying the game up, and I think it's still anyone's game here.
Yeah, it is. And that's why with the Warpseer, I don't know, when I said before, I'm like, I don't know if I need to make this charge or go in there.
Yeah.
With the Storm Vermin, I should have possibly killed them, and he
Well,
would
the
have been
Kurnoth
here.
would have still been alive here, and I potentially teleport him out, or it allows me to go all in on him
Yeah.
and try and kill him. But
Yeah, I guess the Storm Vermin-
different. You never know, right?
You don't know if
it
he's going to be able to
impacts
kill him.
things. Yeah, so into another priority.
Will Jordan win a
I don't
priority?
care about winning it. I just don't want to roll a 1.
You're saying that now, but
That's all.
wait till Purple Sun comes out.
That's a 6. That was it doesn't matter. Ridge rolled a he hit my 6 and turned it into a 2, but then rolled a 1, so it's all okay. So yeah, taking the turn here, and
Yeah, I'm gonna make this the proving ground
Yeah,
for
just-
now, just for safe for turn 5.
yeah,
So then,
so you have a better chance of taking it if you need to.
yeah, if the Storm Vermin die, which I have a good feeling they might.
Yeah, that's about it though. So yeah, jumping into Sylvaneth, turn 4.
Sounds good.
The Sylvaneth battle tactic is gaining momentum. The Lady of Vines uses heroic leadership, and the Warpseer uses heroic recovery. The Storm Vermin rally, returning 8 models, and the Tree Revenants return 1 model. The Branch Witch casts Unleash Spites, dealing 5 mortal wounds in total. The Warpseer dispels the Spite Swarm Hive. The Lady of Vines casts Arcane Bolt, but is unbound. The Branch Witch fails to cast Tree Song. The Lady of Vines casts Aspect of the Everqueen, but is unbound. The Tree Revenants teleport using their Waypipes. The Warpseer uses all-out defense, and the Gossamer archers deal 6 damage to him. 1 wound left. The Tree Revenants use Forward to Victory and make their charge. The Lady of Vines use all-out attack and kills the Claw Lord. The Lady of Vines uses Strike and Fade. The Sylvaneth hold 2 and more objectives and complete their battle tactic for 5 points.
All right, Sylvaneth, turn 4 here, and had to actually you making the proving ground made it a little difficult because I realized I was outside. I was like a millimeter or a couple millimeters
able to
outside of
auto-run.
11 and auto run to get them on, and I could have put the guy I brought back with rally within that range. I just was moving quickly,
Put it
wasn't
to the
thinking about
side,
it at
yeah,
the
yeah.
right time. But here, yeah, I'm actually not in a bad position. I hold this middle one, so I did hold 1, hold 2, because you'll take control of this one. But I'm in a pretty defensive position right
A
now.
lot of move, like just so
Yeah.
many little movement and
Yeah.
trick plays. Like
Yeah.
you made a massive 9-inch charge here.
Yeah.
That was
So
huge.
because
Rolled a
otherwise I
10.
wouldn't have gotten the objective.
You wouldn't have got
And
it.
they're
'cause
just
of
going to redeploy 3 inches, not redeploy, sorry, just pile in equidistant, stay on the objective.
those guys, yeah.
Yeah, just to, basically what I'm just trying to do is prevent the reach around from your Storm Vermin.
There's no way they
I
can
know,
do
but,
that.
sorry, your big guy, I know, but just for the sake of it, and yeah, zoning out that gnaw hole, I was thinking about going to that one. If I had been in range to zone out both, I would have, because he's going to get to teleport, but not from the Brainy Dini. Lots to feed. I mean, this would be
There's so many,
so many things to think about right now.
I probably shouldn't have. I made a mistake here. I shouldn't have dispelled the Spitestorm Hive. I should have dispelled the Louchon in your turn, because then in my turn I could have cast the skateboard again and fucking zoomed him right over. Now I'll have to hopefully win a double and do it in turn 5.
Yeah, but your guy Verminlord's alive on 1 wound.
1 wound.
Because the archers have been doing some good work with the mortals.
3d3 mortals,
Yeah.
2d3 mortals. Like they're good, man.
Yeah, pretty spicy. That's where we are though, and gonna jump into Skaven turn 4.
Let's do it.
The Skaven battle tactic is desecrate their lands. The Warpseer uses heroic recovery, healing 3 wounds, and the Lady of Vines heals 2. The Storm Vermin return 2 model with rally, and the Tree Revenant return 1. Thankful dispels Launchin the Soulseeker. The Warpseer casts Dreaded Warp Gale, but is unbound. The Warpseer fails to cast Purple Sun of Shaiish. Thankful casts Mystic Shield. The Skaven hold 2 and more objectives and complete their battle tactic for 5 points.
Okay, so back from my turn 4, quick one. Essentially,
Yeah, just moving.
Yeah, just moving. So Jordan did a good job of these annoying archers that have been here all game. I can't charge them because they're just going to unleash hell and run away.
Yep.
So the play here is pretty much get to the middle, heal up my Warp Seer, rally my rats as you're doing. We're both just kind of like just
trying to recoup our big heroes and our troops.
And score points. So I'm going to I did desecrate their lands on the train there and then 1, 2 more. So I'll get 5 here.
Yeah, keeping the game tied going into round 5.
Exactly. And then this is going to be a very big, the only other notable thing is I dispelled the skateboard, so he'll be able to cast Louch on next turn if I win Prio.
Yep. And yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So jumping into priority.
What die do I use? What die? We're just going classic, baby.
3.
4!
Okay.
Gross. No more proving grounds. They're all gone.
Yep, correct.
So then definitely I will take the turn.
All right, sounds good. Going into Skaven, turn 5.
Yes, yes.
The Skaven battle tactic is barge through enemy lines. The Warp Seer uses heroic recovery, healing 1 wound, and the Lady of Vines heals 2. The Storm Vermin return 5 models with Rally, and the Tree Revenants return 4. The Warp Seer casts Purple Sun of Shaiish. The Warp Seer fails to cast Dreaded Warp Gale. Thank will cast Mystic Shield on himself. The Skaven hold 2 and more objectives and complete their battle tactic for 5 points.
Okay, so back from my turn 5, pretty quick. I could have done a couple things with this, like the Louch-on, like I was saying over here.
And be aggressive, but it gives me that.
Then because you can teleport. There's no way I could have got there unless I auto 6 them. You know, and your tactic is to just hold 1 in each quarter.
Yeah.
So that's where, and it needs to be them. So you need to pretty much be in the middle. So that's where I tried to just swarm the middle, make it so you don't hold 1, 2 more. So it's going to all come down to if I can hold there, and you're going to, the grand strategy might be
you got to deny me. I mean, if I can't take another objective, you are going to win.
Yes.
If I take another objective, get my normal 5 points, we tie. But if I get my grand strat, I have the chance to win.
Yes.
Because you won't get yours. I mean, if I go for my grand strat, though, I'm risking the unit that could give you your grand strat.
Yes.
So, obviously I didn't do it. Bottom of turn 5.
Let's see. Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Jumping into it right now, going into Sylvaneth, turn 5.
Yep.
The Sylvaneth battle tactic is head-to-head. The Lady of Vines uses heroic leadership, and the Warp Seer uses heroic recovery, healing 3 wounds. The Tree Revenants rally and return 1 model, while the Storm Vermin return 3. The Branch Witch casts Unleash Spites, dealing 3 mortal wounds to the Warp Seer. The Branch Witch fails to cast Tree Song. The Lady of Vines casts Spiteswarm Hive. The Lady of Vines casts Aspect of the Everqueen, but is unbound. The Spiteswarm Hive uses Vital Venoms on the Tree Revenants. The Tree Revenants teleport using their waypipes. The Gossamed Archers deal 2 damage to the Warp Seer. The Tree Revenants use Forward to Victory and make their charge. The Tree Revenants kill the Storm Vermin. The Sylvaneth hold 2 and more objectives and complete their battle tactic for 5 points.
All right, big turn 5 here for Sylvaneth. Did what we needed to do. This has been an epic game going back and forth.
Nuts.
Here, the plan again was I have to take 2 and more and get my battle tactic for 5. My battle tactic was to kill a Delation vet with a Delation vet.
Yeah.
But as long as I got on there, and piled in like I did, even if I failed my battle tactic and one guy lived, I would still win by 1 point.
You'd have won by 1.
I got my Durant strat.
Yeah.
Here I went for the Vermin Lord with all my shooting to try and take him out. He had 3 wounds at the end of it.
Well, just better because you didn't want to make this charge longer.
Yeah. There was no way exactly I was shooting the Storm Vermin.
Yeah.
If I could have been over here, I would have, because there was more frontage. It would have been harder to pull. Maybe chip a couple down first. But Thankful was over there, so I couldn't do that.
You made a huge 6-inch charge, which you originally failed.
I rolled a fail into a 6.
4 into a 6 just to make it in, or that would have been game there too.
I'm so used to deepkin with those 6s off the edge with the old eels.
+3, yeah.
Hey, 9 rerollable with +3, so a 6 rerollable is very failable. It's like 15% of the time it'll fail.
Yep.
Here we got it though. The only spell I really cared about was Spite Swarm Hive.
Yep.
But I did a couple chip damage with the Warsong Bomb.
Yeah.
Purple Sun, I'm like not gonna even try to unbind it, just getting all the buffs I can.
Doesn't matter. Everything was about the remnants.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I needed Spite Swarm Hive. Got a big cast on that.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't able to get Death Frenzy either because just not being in range with Thanquil. So it's like, and I wanted to so badly get him over here, but then you can just teleport. Like the teleporting is just insane.
That's the tough thing, is that would have, maybe it's tough in hindsight because I was able to do this, but you were hoping I wouldn't be able to get everything that I needed.
More when we looked at it, like I could have put him on Lauchon, ran up here, but then as soon as I moved, you would have been able to redeploy out of the burn range.
Yeah, that's a big weakness of Thanquil.
Pending if you would have rolled, because I wouldn't have been able to get exactly outside 3. So it was across the board, big play, but then I would have put the dice in your hand if you would have rolled a 1 or a 2.
And then you for sure give away the win.
Yes.
If you do that, right?
Because then you're teleporting there for sure with any other unit you have. You're going to hold 2.
Yeah.
But the grand strategy, I would get mine and then you wouldn't get yours. So that was the risk there. But
I think you tried to hedge your bets. I think that would have been a big risky play, not the play you make it an event or something.
No. But that all of this game has relied on magic.
So many
just
things.
Purely magic. It's crazy how much. That little branch witch in the back has been just, oh my god, I wish I had a comet to just drop on her head.
Just Spell Singer, it's so good.
The bomb you got off, I think, every
time. I was trying to build lists and I just couldn't build lists without Spell Singer. I'm just like, it's so critical, whether it's popping up woods, putting a Spite Swarm where you need it, getting, even casting a Mystic Shield, or the bomb.
The bomb, just, oh my gosh,
everything,
man. So many mortals.
It's so good. And Gnarl Root was huge. I've been liking a lot of the sub-factions actually. I like, Harvest or Heartwood for Kurnoth.
Yeah.
I like Dreadwood for the Spite Revs, but this was great for the magic reliability.
The tree revs with the Spite Swarm Hive, great, and just amount of magic. So man, and I was a lot of the time +3 and still not getting binds off.
You were with Thanquil when he got in range, but he was out of range early and then had to run away.
And when I was I moved him into here just be within 30 of the witch, but
and you had a couple I think on binds then, but
the 5-up ward you had almost except the last couple turns, but that's a great spell.
Great spell.
A lot of good magic.
Yeah, a lot of good magic, but again, one of those mid-level armies, when you build into it like I did here with Gnarl Root, it makes the magic more reliable. Which is definitely important.
3d6 and rerolls with the casting. So big.
Yeah,
it was nuts, man.
Yeah, no, that was a wild game.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Skaven?
Yeah, super fun. The ability, the claw, the 3 Master Clan doing that, multiple times I roll a 7-8, make an 11 or 13-inch charge, and then just getting that with all of your units.
That's huge with reliability.
Was really annoying against these guys because I didn't have much shooting. So it's I feel like Skaven still needs to have some, a cannon and a little bit of scryer. I kind of want to test that, but also the pestilence stuff is so good with the sensor bears and there's some good weapon teams. There's just so much in the book. The book is so amazing. People always, I've just seen people always already oh, it's not S tier, it's not this, that. It's that's a good thing. That's how books should be. They shouldn't come out immediately and be ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Power creep is not something we want.
Yeah. So it's amazing that there's so many viable units. The Warps here was awesome. He kept just healing all game and rallying Storm Vermin. It was.
And honestly, I feel like our thoughts on these armies mirror each other a lot. Where I man, you can run, like I ran all, no same units as last time I played this list.
Like pretty much no Kurnoth,
no duplications of War Scrolls from the last game, and super viable tree revs, man. They were like MVPs, right?
Especially in Bounty Hunters, they just slapped up those storm
if anyone now you, like some armies have to build into GVs a little bit.
Same with Seraphon.
Hard to avoid, but yeah, they still do damage even without it.
They do.
I got tree sawn off a couple times, but never where and when I wanted it.
Yeah.
But I mean, they go to Ren 2 with that. It's pretty spicy. So
the mobility, honestly, just the mobility and the ability for Sylvaneth to move around the board like this is ridiculous. Like, it's insane. It's going to be
strong.
So good. Like you're going to see some really like high-end players playing it, and it's
that's why I'm loving it, because I've always been about the movement, right? And those little tricks, and there's now Sylvaneth. That's how they play again, and I'm loving it. Like.
Yeah, it's definitely, really cool and very viable, tons of builds. It's great that these books are just getting better.
Yeah, I have to say the Lady of Vines, I didn't love her. I didn't love any of the new War Scrolls. There's some that are like, okay, you can see the use for it here, but this is my second game with both of these units, and actually this game is trying to reshape my thoughts.
Yeah.
Obviously, building into the Gnarl root and that, spellcasting more reliable.
Yeah.
That made her more significant, more impactful.
Yep.
She's gonna be fighting for a spot in the list now. I went from like running this unit because they're cute to being like, I could put another 5 in and
against,
2 skirmishy units like that.
Against things that don't shoot.
Yeah, and even the things that do shoot. Is that really the unit you want to be shooting?
Yeah, I know. It's another target, exactly.
Yeah, and the high movement means I can zone the board well.
Yeah.
They're not a GV, so they're not giving away those battle tactics and stuff like that. So
yeah, I love them, man. You're 2d3 damage, 2d3 mortals, 3d3 mortals. Like, you know what I mean? Like
it's chipping down. Like,
I think you did 8 the one time with mortals. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. So they were fun. Definitely got another unit on the way for Warpfire, so definitely gonna get those painted up.
Nice.
And on the table.
Yeah, I'm excited to try some other builds, but that's Skaven always, so I got to get some...
Lots of stuff, lots of different
flares
models.
And some, whatever, the Plague Sensor Bears, like there's some units now that are just like nuts, but also the shooting, you want to try some of that out.
Oh, for sure.
Double cannon with an engineer.
Yeah. Purple Sun ate 2 models.
Yes, Purple Sun has successfully killed 2 models in his first game ever, so we'll see in the stream game later today. It's going to be the same one, so he's hot.
Oh, for sure. But I think with that, we'll wrap things up here, guys. Hope you enjoyed that match. It was definitely a blinder to play.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun with 2 armies we love, so what more can you ask for? But yeah, we'll say a big thank you to everyone. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to check out our premium membership, and you can get access to a bunch more and some other perks. Otherwise, we'll see you guys soon in another battle report.
Have a good week, everyone.